From screaming matches over pizza to crying together in the hospital, I never thought my traditional Indian mother-in-law and I could become soul sisters. What began with culture clashes, jealousy, and tears transformed into the deepest bond of my life, raising my daughter with love from two worlds. This is our real Chicago story. Arguments, a terrifying health scare, cultural nights, and the moment everything changed forever. If you've ever struggled with in-laws or wondered if love can truly bridge cultures, this emotional journey will leave you smiling through tears. You won't believe how it ends. Hey everyone, my name's Lauren. I'm 35, living in a quiet coastal town just outside Boston, Massachusetts. The kind of place with white picket fences, lobster rolls in summer, and brutal winters that make you question your life choices. I've got a good job as a high school English teacher, a cozy little Cape Cod house I bought with my own savings, and a golden retriever named Max who thinks he's a lapdog. Life was pretty great until she moved in next door. Her name was Evelyn, mid-60s, perfectly coiffed silver hair, always in pastel cardigans, the kind of woman who baked cookies for new neighbors and waved enthusiastically every morning. She seemed harmless. Too harmless. The first red flag came 2 weeks after she arrived. I was mowing my lawn on a Saturday, headphones in, singing off-key to Taylor Swift, when she appeared at the fence. "Lauren, dear, that mower is so loud. Some of us are trying to enjoy the quiet." I smiled, turned it off. "Sorry, Evelyn, just trying to keep the grass under control." She beamed. "Of course, dear. Just thought you should know." I shrugged it off. But then it kept happening. Little comments, always with that sweet smile. "Your dog barks too much at night. Your car is parked a little over the line. That music is a bit loud for the neighborhood." Each one small, each one with that smile. I started feeling watched. Every time I looked out my window, she was there, watering plants that didn't need water, sweeping a spotless porch, staring. My friends laughed when I mentioned it. "She's just an old lady, Lauren, probably lonely." Maybe, but the stares felt intentional, like she was cataloging my every move. I started closing curtains earlier, taking Max for walks the other way, avoiding eye contact. Then the notes began. Anonymous, typed, slipped under my door or in my mailbox. "Pick up after your dog better. Consider quieter hobbies. Your lights are on too late. Disturbing." I thought they were kids. Prank. Until one note was more personal. "That outfit you wore to work yesterday wasn't appropriate for a teacher." My stomach twisted. How did they know what I wore to work? I showed the notes to my principal, just in case. She frowned. "Probably nothing, but keep records." I did. The notes kept coming. More frequent, more pointed. "Your garbage cans are unsightly. Please store them properly." "That man who visited last week, is he appropriate company?" Man, my brother had come for dinner. I felt violated, watched, judged. I installed a basic security camera at the front door. Nothing. The notes still appeared. I started losing sleep, checking locks twice, peeking out windows at night. Max sensed it, growled at the fence more. Evelyn? Still smiling. Baking me cookies one day. "Thought you could use a treat, dear. You look tired." I thanked her, threw them away unopened. The smile never reached her eyes. Something was wrong. Deeply wrong. I told my best friend Jenna over wine. "This is creepy, Lauren, like stalker level." I nodded, but what could I do? No proof. She was always so sweet in person, the perfect neighbor. Everyone loved her. Block parties, she hosted, brought homemade pies, chatted with everyone's kids. No one would believe me. "You're overreacting," they'd say. "She's just old and nosy." But I knew. This wasn't nosy. This was calculated, controlled, malicious, wrapped in sugar. I started researching her. Public records, old addresses, nothing obvious. Widow, moved from Connecticut, no criminal record, perfect on paper. But the notes, the stares, the comments, They escalated. One taped to my car at the grocery store. Teachers should set better examples. I looked around the parking lot, saw her, in her car, watching, smiling, waving. My blood ran cold. That night, I sat on my couch, Max beside me, heart pounding. This woman was making my life miserable, slowly, stealthily, and no one saw it but me. Chapter 1 ends with me staring at the ceiling, Max snoring softly, wondering, how far would she go, and what secret was driving her? I didn't know yet, but I was about to. And when I did, everything would change. The misery she'd sown would become her undoing. She thought she could break me, quietly, from the shadows. She was wrong. The fight was just beginning, and I was ready to uncover the truth, no matter how dark. Auntie arrived on a humid Saturday in late June, right in the middle of one of those classic Chicago heat waves where the air feels thick enough to chew and even the lake breeze does nothing to cool things down. Raj had taken the day off to pick her up from O'Hare, and I stayed home, nervously tidying up our little house for the third time that week. I wiped down counters that were already spotless, fluffed the pillows on the couch, and even baked a batch of chocolate chip cookies, my go-to comfort recipe from my Wisconsin mom, hoping the smell would make everything feel welcoming. When the front door finally opened, I heard Raj's excited voice first. "Mom, you're here!" Then her softer reply, laced with that familiar Indian accent. "Bita, finally! The flight was long, but seeing you makes it worth it." She stepped inside carrying one large suitcase and a tote bag that looked stuffed to bursting. She was dressed in a light blue salwar kameez, her braying hair pulled back in a neat bun, gold bangles jingling softly on her wrists. She looked tired from the trip, but her eyes lit up when she saw me standing awkwardly in the living room. "Sarah, Bita," she said, dropping her bags and pulling me into a hug that smelled of jasmine and airport travel. It was warm, tight, and a little overwhelming. "Welcome, Auntie," I managed, hugging back. "How was the flight?" "Long, but good. Now I'm here with my family." Raj beamed, hauling the suitcases toward the guest room we'd spent weeks preparing. Fresh sheets, new lamp, even a small vase of flowers on the dresser. The first few hours were polite. Auntie admired the house, so spacious, Beta, and I showed her around, pointing out the backyard garden, the cozy kitchen, our little office nook. She nodded approvingly. Very nice, clean, good energy. I felt a small swell of pride. Then she opened her tote bag and started pulling out gifts, spices in little jars, a beautiful dupatta for me, sweets wrapped in foil. For you both, from home. I thanked her, genuinely touched. Raj's eyes shone. That evening, Raj had to jump on a quick work call, so I offered to help Auntie unpack. She smiled. "No need, Beta, but maybe you can show me the kitchen. I want to make chai." I let her in. She looked around, my modern setup with the stainless steel appliances, the coffee maker I loved, the organized spice rack with mostly American brands. She opened the fridge. Not much vegetables." I laughed nervously. "We usually shop on weekends." She nodded, then started rearranging my pantry for better flow, putting her spices front and center. I watched, frozen. "It's okay, Auntie, I have a system." She smiled sweetly. "Of course, Beta, just helping." That night, I planned a simple dinner. Grilled salmon, asparagus, and a salad. Healthy, quick, my go-to after a long week. Auntie watched me prep. "No masala? No rice?" We eat lighter during the week." She made that soft sound again, then pulled out her pressure cooker from the suitcase. "Let me make something proper. Raj needs good food." Before I could protest, she was chopping onions, tomatoes, pulling out her spices. The kitchen filled with the intense aroma of garam masala and cumin. Raj came in, nose twitching. "Mom, smells like home." He kissed her cheek. I forced a smile. "Yeah, it does." Dinner was her chicken curry with rice. Delicious, no denying it, but I felt sidelined, like my meal plan didn't matter, like my way wasn't good enough. After, I cleaned up while they chatted in Hindi, laughing about old family stories. I understood some words, but not enough. Felt like an outsider in my own kitchen, in my own home. In bed that night, Raj spooned me. "She's just excited, babe. Give it time." I stared at the ceiling. "I know, it's just a lot." He kissed my shoulder. "You'll see. It'll be great." I didn't sleep much. The next morning, I woke to the smell of fresh parathas, Auntie already up at 5:30, praying softly, then cooking. I came down in my pajamas. She looked at me. "Good morning, Betha. I made breakfast." The table was set with aloo paratha, yogurt, pickle. No coffee brewing. I usually started my day with coffee, strong, black. "I usually have yogurt and fruit." She looked disappointed. "Oh, okay. Tomorrow I make something light." Guilt hit. "No, this looks amazing, thank you." I ate. It was good, but the pattern was set. She cooked every meal, rearranged more cabinets, commented on my wardrobe when I dressed for work. "Those pants are very tight, beta. Red lipstick for office?" Always gentle, always with the smile, but it chipped away. Raj defended. "She's from a different time. It's how she shows love." I started coming home later, staying at school to grade papers, avoiding the house. The clash was building, quiet, constant, and I was losing ground in my own home. Chapter 2 ends with me in the car one evening, sitting in the school parking lot, crying, wondering how long I could take this, feeling like a stranger in the life I'd built. The first real fight was coming, and when it hit, it would change everything. For all of us. August in Chicago always feels like the city is trying to cook you alive. That thick, humid heat where the air sticks to your skin, the sun beats down relentlessly, and even the evenings offer no relief. Our little suburb was no escape. The AC in our house ran nonstop, but it couldn't cool the growing tension inside those walls. By then, Mom had been living with us for almost 2 months. The small adjustments had piled up. She'd wake at dawn for prayers, beautiful chants that used to feel peaceful, but now jolted me awake. I'd lie there, staring at the ceiling, resenting the loss of my quiet mornings. Raj slept through it, smiling in his sleep. "It's nice having her here," he'd say. Nice for him. The kitchen was her domain now. Every meal Indian, rich curries, fresh rotis, sweets that filled the house with ghee and cardamom. Delicious, but constant. The smells lingered, spices in my clothes, in my hair, clients on Zoom calls asking, "What's cooking? Smells great." I'd laugh it off. Inside, frustrated. My simple salads and grilled chicken felt inadequate. Wrong. The comments were endless, gentle, but relentless. "Your hair needs oil, Betha. It's so dry." "Why do you wear jeans at home? Kurtas are more comfortable." "You work too late. In India, women come home for family." Each one a tiny needle, pricking, accumulating. Raj always defended. "She's from a different generation. It's her way of caring." I started snapping back. Small at first, then sharper. One night, I came home late. Parent-teacher conferences ran over. Found dinner waiting. Cold. Mom looked hurt. I kept it warm for hours. Guilt, but exhaustion won. "I'm sorry, I ate at school." Her face. Disappointment. Like I'd rejected her love. Raj pulled me aside later. "She's trying so hard." "I'm trying too." The real breaking point came on a sweltering Friday. I'd had a brutal week. Difficult students, admin meetings, report cards due. Came home drained. Kicked off my shoes, collapsed on the couch in my work skirt and blouse. Raj texted, "Running late." Mom appeared from the kitchen, holding a plate. "Butter chicken, your favorite." I closed my eyes. "I'm really tired, Mom. Can we just order pizza tonight?" Her face fell. "Pizza? Again? Betha, this is made with love. For you. For Raj." Something inside me snapped. I sat up. "Mom, I appreciate it. I do. But this is my house too. I work all day. Sometimes I don't want heavy curry. Sometimes I want quiet. Sometimes I want to come home and not feel like I'm failing because I didn't cook or because my dinner isn't proper. The words poured out, louder than I intended. Her eyes widened. Tears welled. You think I'm making you fail? I only want to help, to be useful. Her voice broke. I saw it then, the vulnerability, the fear. But I was too raw. Help feels like judgment every day. My food, my clothes, my schedule, when we'll have kids. She clutched her dupatta. I lost my husband, my home. I came here to be with family, to matter. Tears streamed down her face. I felt like the worst person alive, but the dam was broken. I need space. I can't breathe in my own home. I grabbed my keys, left, drove aimlessly through Chicago suburbs, ended up at a McDonald's drive-thru, ate a Big Mac in my car, cried, called my best friend Jenna, told her everything. She listened. You're not crazy. Boundaries are okay, even with family. I stayed at her place that weekend. Raj texted, called. Mom hasn't eaten. She's crying in her room. Come home. Guilt warred with anger. Monday, I returned. House silent. Mom in her room. Raj at work. Note on the counter. In her careful handwriting. Sarah Beta, I'm sorry for making you unhappy. I will pack and return to New Jersey. You and Raj need your space. I don't want to be a burden. Love, Mom. Mom, again. I sat, tears falling. She wasn't controlling, she was clinging to purpose, to family, to love, and I'd pushed her away. I knocked on her door. She opened slowly, eyes swollen, suitcases half packed. Mom, please don't go. We talked, hours, raw, honest. I told her how overwhelmed I felt, how I feared losing myself. She told me about arriving in America, raising Raj alone while her husband worked doubles, losing friends to distance, feeling invisible after widowhood. We cried, hugged. Something broke open. The anger, the fear, the misunderstanding. Raj came home to find us at the table, chai between us, talking softly. He looked stunned, then relieved. That night, we set rules, together. Cooking rotation, quiet hours, personal space, cultural respect, both ways. The breaking point wasn't destruction, it was breakthrough. The moment we saw each other, really saw, as women, as family, not perfect, but trying, healing, together. Chapter 3 ends with us on the porch that evening, fireflies starting, cooler air finally, holding hands, watching stars appear. No words needed, just presence. The storm had passed, the real connection just beginning, and it would carry us through everything, including the greatest joy and the deepest test. After that raw, tear-filled conversation in the kitchen, the one where Mom's note nearly broke me, something shifted in our house. It wasn't a lightning bolt moment with dramatic music and instant harmony. It was quieter, slower, like the first real thaw after a long Chicago winter, where the snow starts melting in patches and you finally see green peeking through. The next morning, I woke up before the sun, something I hadn't done since college. The house was still dark, quiet except for the hum of the fridge. I slipped downstairs in my robe, started the coffee pot for me, and then, on a whim, pulled out Lom's chai spices from the cabinet she'd organized. Cardamom pods, cloves, fresh ginger I'd bought at her insistence. I followed the steps she'd shown me once, boiled a water, crushed the spices, add tea leaves, milk, sugar. It wasn't perfect, a little too strong, but it smelled like her. When she came down for her prayers, she paused in the doorway. The kitchen smelled like home for her. Coffee and chai mixed. She looked at me, eyes soft. You made chai? I nodded, handing her a mug. Tried your recipe. Not as good as yours, but... She took a sip. Tears welled. Then a smile. Better than yesterday. We sat at the table. No words at first, just sipping. Then she spoke. I was wrong, Beta. Wrong to push so hard. In my time, mothers-in-law, we think we know everything, how to cook, how to live, how to love. But you have your own way, and it's good. I swallowed. And I was wrong too, wrong to shut down. I was scared, scared of changing everything I'd built, my routines, my independence. She reached across, took my hand. We both scared, but now we talk, we learn. That was the olive branch, real, fragile, but ours. From there, we started rebuilding, slowly, intentionally. We made rules together over breakfast that week. Raj joined, looking relieved. Cooking? We rotate. 3 nights Mom, 3 nights Sarah, 1 night takeout or date night. Mom nodded. Good, I learn American food. I smiled. And I learn more Indian. Quiet hours? Mornings for prayers, but volume low. Evenings for Sarah's unwind time. We agreed. Personal space? Mom asked before rearranging anything. I asked her opinion without feeling judged. We started small traditions. My idea, culture nights. 1 week, Indian. Mom cooked her classics. Buttered chicken that made the house smell like heaven. Fresh naan puffed on the griddle. Stories of her childhood festivals in India. We'd watch Bollywood movies, her translating the songs, me tearing up at the family dramas. Raj grinning the whole time. Next week, American. My turn. Grilled burgers in summer, mac and cheese in fall, stories of my Wisconsin county fairs, 4th of July parades. We watched baseball, explained innings slowly. She cheered for the Cubs once they started winning. The exchange wasn't just food, it was understanding. She tried pumpkin spice latte, too sweet but finished it. I tried her homemade masala chai every morning, perfected it finally. We shopped together. Indian grocery in Devon for spices, farmer's market for local produce. People assumed we were mother-daughter. We smiled, didn't correct. Raj came home to laughter, to fusion meals, to 2 women who once clashed, now teaming up. One night, after a failed attempt at my mom's apple pie, crust too tough, Mom laughed so hard she cried. You need more butter, beta. American pie's too healthy. I laughed too. Next time, you make the crust. We did. Perfect. Flaky, delicious. The comments changed, from judgment to curiosity. What do you do at work, Sarah? Tell me about your students. How was your day? She started calling my parents. Long chats, recipes swapped. My mom sent cheese curds. Mom sent homemade sweets. They became friends, real friends. The house felt different, full, not crowded, full of stories, of compromise, of 2 women from different worlds choosing each other every day. Raj pulled me aside one evening. You 2 are incredible together. I smiled. We're learning. The first olive branch wasn't grand. It was chai in the morning, a note, a conversation. Small steps, but they led somewhere beautiful. Chapter 4 ends with us on the porch one crisp fall evening, leaves falling, chai in hand, watching sunset. Mom turned to me. I'm glad I came, beta. I squeezed her hand. Me too, Mom. And I meant it, deeply. The clashes were fading. The love? Growing. Strong. Real. The family we were building, it was worth every tear, every fight, every choice, and it was just beginning. Fall in Chicago is magic. Crisp air, leaves turning fiery reds and oranges along the lakefront, that perfect sweater weather where you can finally open the windows and let the breeze in. Our house felt different, too, lighter. After the breaking point conversation and Mom's near departure scare, we'd found a fragile but growing peace. The rules we'd set, cooking rotations, quiet hours, personal space, were working. Not perfectly, but enough to breathe. That's when I suggested culture nights. It started one cool September evening. We were on the porch, Raj scrolling fantasy football on his phone, Mom knitting a scarf for Arya, who wasn't even born yet, we were still in the planning phase, and me sipping pumpkin spice latte, embracing my basic white girl side. I looked at Mom's needles flying and said, Mom, you've taught me so much already. Chai, aloo gobi, even how to fold samosas without them exploding. What if we make this official? Culture exchange nights. She paused, interested. What do you mean? 1 week, Indian culture, your food, movies, stories from back home. The next week, American. My recipes, baseball, classic movies, Wisconsin tales. Raj looked up, grinning. I'm in either way. Free food. Mom smiled. Real, warm. I would love that, beta. And culture nights were born. The first official Indian night was unforgettable. Mom spent the day prepping, the kitchen alive with sizzle and spice. Fresh garlic ginger paste, cumin seeds popping in hot oil, chicken marinating in yogurt and masala. She made butter chicken that was restaurant level, creamy, tomato-rich sauce with tender meat. Fresh naan puffed on the griddle, cucumber raita to cool it down, mango lassi blended smooth. We ate on the floor, picnic style, like she remembered from family gatherings. Cross-legged on a blanket, plates balanced on knees. She told stories, her childhood in a small town outside Mumbai, monsoon floods turning streets to rivers, street vendors selling spicy pani puri, Diwali lights everywhere, firecrackers, family crowded together. We watched Lagan, that epic cricket movie. She explained the rules, the history, the passion. Raj and I cheered like we were at the match. I cried at the ending. Mom patted my knee. Love for land, love for people. Same everywhere. The next week, American night. I was nervous. What if she hated it? I made classics from my Wisconsin roots. Grilled brats with mustard and sauerkraut, potato salad with my mom's secret dill recipe, corn on the cob slathered in butter, and apple crisp for dessert with vanilla ice cream. Simple, hearty, home. Mom took a bite of brat, paused, eyes lit up. This is good, like festival food. Raj devoured 3. We watched a Cubs game, explained innings, strikes, home runs, slowly. She got into it, cheered when we scored. Then Field of Dreams, the baseball ghost movie. She teared up at If You Build It. Family, always family. We started alternating. Indian nights, paneer butter masala, crispy dosas with coconut chutney, stories of holy colors and Ganesh festivals. American nights, barbecue ribs smoked on our little grill, homemade mac and cheese with breadcrumb topping, tales of county fairs, hay rides, and 4th of July fireworks over the lake. She tried her first root beer float, laughed at the brain freeze. I mastered perfect masala chai, strong, gingery, just like hers. We shopped together for ingredients, Indian store in Devon for fresh curry leaves and basmati rice, the farmer's market for corn and apples. People smiled at us, assumed mother-daughter. We let them. Raj came home to different worlds every week, came home happy. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. The exchange went deeper. She learned to love Chicago-style deep dish, too much cheese, but finished 2 slices. I fell in love with her homemade gulab jamun, syrupy, warm, addictive. We compared holidays, her Diwali lights and sweets, my Christmas cookies and tree. Planned a fusion Thanksgiving, turkey with masala rub. The house smelled like both of us, spices and cinnamon, curry and apple pie. Josh joked we needed a bigger kitchen. Mom started asking about my work, really asking. How was school today? Tell me about your students. I told her, the funny ones, the struggling ones. She listened, gave advice from raising Raj. Wisdom comes from heart, beta, not just books. I started wearing some of her gifted kurtas on weekends. Comfortable, beautiful. She tried jeans once, laughed. Too tight, but free feeling. The comments stopped being judgments, became curiosity, sharing, love. One night after watching The Notebook on American Night, tears all around, she turned to me. In India, we have arranged love. Here, love marriage, but end same. Commitment. I nodded. Love is love. She squeezed my hand. You good wife, Sarah. Good daughter. Tears. Mine, hers, Raj's. The cultural exchange wasn't just food or movies. It was hearts. Opening. Healing. Blending. Creating something new. Us. Chapter 5 ends with a quiet December evening. First snow falling, chai and hot chocolate on the table, mom teaching me a Hindi lullaby, me teaching her Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Raj watching, smiling. Our home? Full of warmth, of two worlds, one family. The exchange? Complete. The love? Deep. Real. Forever. And the greatest surprise? Still coming. The one that would bind us eternally. Winter descended on Chicago like it always does, suddenly, fiercely, turning the city into a frozen wonderland overnight. One day it was tolerable chill. The next, wind whipping off Lake Michigan that cut right through your coat, snow piling up on sidewalks, and that gray sky that makes you crave soup and fireplaces. Our little house felt like a warm cocoon against it all. Lights strung early for the holidays, the smell of cinnamon from my baking mixing with Mom's cardamom chai. Mom had settled into her rhythm beautifully after our culture nights became a staple. She was healthier too. Those evening walks we'd started in fall continued, bundled in scarves and boots, crunching through early snow. Her blood pressure meds were working. Checkups good. She even joined a senior yoga class at the community center, coming home glowing. Mind and body, Betha, she'd say, keeps the heart strong. Raj and I were in the best place we'd been in years. Date nights resumed, laughter constant, plans for the future, travel, maybe starting a family soon. Mom was part of it all, excited, supportive. The scare came out of nowhere. It was a bitter Tuesday in January, temperature below zero, wind chill making it feel like -20. I was working from home, snow day for schools, virtual meetings. Raj at the office. Mom had been a bit quiet that morning. Little headache, she said. Indigestion from last night's spicy curry. I offered Tylenol. She waved it off. Old age aches. By lunch, she was resting in her room. I checked around 2 p.m., found her on the bed, pale, sweating, clutching her chest, left arm limp, breathing labored. Mom? She tried to smile. Pain here. My training kicked in. Teacher CPR certification, chest pain, radiating to arm, sweating, classic signs, heart attack. I called 911, voice steady despite panic. 65-year-old female, chest pain, left arm numbness, sweating, possible cardiac. They were there fast, sirens cutting through snow, paramedics rushing in, questions, history. I grabbed her purse, meds list, coat, followed the ambulance, snow falling heavier, wipers on high, tears freezing on my cheeks. Please, not her, not now, after we'd just found each other. Raj met me at Northwestern Hospital, face ashen. We sat in the ER waiting room, holding hands, silent prayers. His Catholic, mine whatever higher power listened. Doctors finally came. Not a full infarction, severe angina, partial blockage, high blood pressure flared it. Relief crashed over us. But then, she needs lifestyle monitoring, stress reduction critical, possible stent if meds don't control. Stress, the word hung. All the changes, the move, our early fights, had we caused this? Guilt crushed me. Raj squeezed my hand. It's not your fault. But tears came anyway. They kept her 2 nights, tests, monitoring. I stayed, slept in the chair, held her hand. Raj brought food, changes of clothes. Mom woke the second morning, saw us, smiled weakly. You both here. Always, I said. Tears, hers, ours. Discharge day, doctor pulled us aside. Reduce stress, regular exercise, diet, meds. Family support key. We nodded. Home was different after. Quiet at first, then purposeful. We became her team, real team. Heart-healthy meals together, grilled fish with herbs, vegetable curries, low salt, salads I loved. She tried quinoa. Interesting texture. Walks became sacred, even in snow. Bundled up, arm in arm, talking about everything. Her fears of being a burden, my fears of losing her now that I'd found her, Raj's guilt for not seeing signs. We laughed, cried, healed. One night, blizzard raging outside, we sat by the fire, hot chocolate, hers with chai spices. She looked at us. I was so scared in the hospital, thought, this is it. I took her hand. We're scared too, of losing you. She smiled. But I'm here, because of you both. Raj nodded, tears. The scare didn't break us, it bound us tighter. Mom's recovery was steady, strong. She taught us gratitude, daily. I taught her self-care, boundaries with love. Raj learned balance, family first, but healthy. Culture nights continued, lighter foods, more laughter. The house, full of life, of second chances, of love that survived the storm. Chapter 6 ends with spring teasing, first crocuses pushing through melting snow. Mom and I in the garden, planting new bulbs, laughing at cold dirt on hands. Raj watching from the porch, smiling. Our family, forged in fire, stronger, deeper, ready for whatever came next, including the greatest blessing, the one that would make us whole forever. Spring finally broke through in Chicago that year, the kind of glorious Midwest spring where the city explodes with color overnight. Cherry blossoms along the lakefront, tulips popping up in every yard, that first warm weekend when everyone rushes outside like they've been hibernating for months. Our little house felt alive again too. Windows open, fresh air chasing out the last of winter's staleness, the garden Mom and I had planted the year before starting to bloom. Life was good, really good. Raj's promotion had settled into a manageable rhythm, longer hours sometimes, but better pay and more flexibility. My marketing job was thriving. I'd gotten a raise and was leading bigger projects. Mom's health was stable, strong even. Those daily walks we'd kept up through the winter paid off, her blood pressure steady, energy high. She'd even started volunteering at the local senior center, teaching Indian cooking classes. Everyone loved her, called her auntie there too. We'd become this tight unit, 3 generations dreaming together, talking about travel, maybe a trip to India someday, or Disney for when we had kids. Kids. We'd been planning for a while, not rushing, enjoying us. Then, in early May, everything changed. It was a quiet Saturday morning, Raj still asleep. I woke up feeling off, nauseous, tired. Thought it was a bug, then realized my period was late, 2 weeks. I slipped out of bed, took the test I'd bought just in case months ago, waited in the bathroom, heart pounding. 2 lines, pink, clear, pregnant. I stared, hands shaking. Joy crashed over me, then fear, then pure excitement. I crept back to bed, woke Raj gently, showed him the stick. His eyes went wide, then filled with tears. He pulled me close, whispered, "We're having a baby." We cried, laughed, held each other, planned in whispers, names, nursery colors, how to tell Mom. That afternoon, we sat her down. Living room, sun streaming in, tea on the table, chai for her, herbal for me. "Mom, we have something to tell you." She looked up, expectant. I took her hand. "You're going to be a Dottie, Grandma." Her face, pure light, shock, then joy so deep it brought instant tears. She pulled me into the tightest hug. "My beta, a baby, our baby." Then turned to Raj, tears streaming. "Your father, he would be so happy." We all cried, group hug, laughter through tears. The next months were pure magic. Mom became my everything. Morning sickness hit hard, couldn't stand coffee or strong spices. She made plain toast, ginger tea, rice porridge, whatever settled. Drove me to appointments when Raj couldn't. Held my hand during the first ultrasound, heartbeat whooshing. She wept openly. "It's strong, like its mother." Cravings came, weird ones, pickles and ice cream, spicy mango at midnight. She'd get up, make it fresh, no complaints, whatever baby wants. Raj was incredible, Foot rubs, grocery runs, building the crib early. But Mom, she was my partner. We shopped for baby clothes. She knitted blankets, soft pastels, taught me Hindi lullabies. I taught her American ones. We planned the nursery, blend of both worlds. Crib from my parents, mobile with elephants and stars. My bump grew. She'd touch it gently. Feel the kick? Strong baby. Doctor visits? Good. Everything healthy. The baby shower was fusion perfection. Friends from work, Raj's family, my side, Indian sweets and American cake. Games, guess the spice, guess the baby food, gifts from everywhere. Mom hosted, glowing. This child will know both worlds, best of both. Labor came early fall. Leaves turning, cooler nights, intense. Raj by my side, Mom in the waiting room, praying. Our daughter arrived, healthy cry, perfect. Dark hair like Raj, my eyes. Mom held her first. Tears, blessings in Hindi, then you are my sunshine softly. Perfect. We named her Arya, melody, air, lioness, blend. Home with baby was beautiful chaos, sleepless nights, endless love. 3 adults, 1 tiny human. Mom up for feeds, rocking when I couldn't. Raj mastering diapers, me learning motherhood. The bond, unbreakable. Mom looked at Arya, then me. You gave me purpose again. I smiled. You gave me family. Chapter 7 ends with us on the couch one quiet night. Arya asleep on Mom's chest, Raj's arm around me, fireplace glowing. Outside, first frost. Inside, warmth, love, complete. The grandbaby surprise, it wasn't just a child, it was completion of our story, of our family, the greatest gift. From arguments to this, pure grace. And we were grateful every day. The years after Arya's birth passed in that beautiful, breathless way only parents understand. A whirlwind of firsts that somehow stretch into a lifetime. First smile, first tooth, first steps across our living room floor, while Max, the golden retriever, watched with his head tilted in confusion. Our little Cape Cod house in the Boston suburbs filled with the chaos and joy of a growing family. Toys scattered like colorful landmines, the constant hum of lullabies and laughter, the smell of baby lotion mixing with Mom's chai in the mornings. Arya was our miracle, a perfect blend. Dark, wavy hair like Raj, my fair skin that freckled in summer, Mom's infectious dimples when she grinned. She called Mom Daddy from the moment she could talk, that sweet toddler version, Daddy, that made us all melt. Mom poured her soul into her, bedtime stories of Indian gods and goddesses, Ganesh with his elephant head, Krishna's mischief, lullabies in Hindi, soft and melodic, teaching her to fold tiny hands for prayer. Then I'd take over. Goodnight Moon, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, songs from my childhood like You Are My Sunshine. Arya grew up bilingual without effort. Namaste, Mommy. I love you, Daddy. She ate butter chicken with her hands one night, mac and cheese with a fork the next, wore sparkly lehengas for Diwali, red, white, and blue for 4th of July parades. We celebrated everything. Double the holidays, double the joy. Diwali lights and Christmas tree, Easter eggs and holy colors, water balloons in the backyard, Mom laughing as she got soaked. Thanksgiving with turkey and masala stuffing. Arya thrived, confident, curious, kind. Mom's health stayed strong longer than we dared hope. The heart scare had been a warning, but she'd embraced the changes. Daily walks with Arya in the stroller, then holding her hand as she toddled, kept her active. Heart-healthy meals became family norm, meditation apps, yoga in the living room. She'd say, holding Arya on her lap, "This child is my medicine." And she was. Grandparenthood gave Mom purpose, renewed energy. She'd chase Arya around the yard at 70, laughing breathlessly. Knit blankets, teach her numbers in Hindi and English. My parents visited often, from Wisconsin. Long weekends, fishing at the local pond, holiday feasts. Mom and my mom, 2 grandmas from different worlds, bonding over baby photos, recipes, the universal language of grandparent love. Swapping stories, my dad teaching mom how to grill perfect burgers, her teaching him tandoori technique. Laughter echoing, Arya calling both grandma. No distinction needed. School started. Kindergarten. First day photos, Arya in her little uniform, backpack almost as big as her. Mom packed lunch, roti with Nutella one day, her compromise, PB&J the next. Teacher raved. She's so adaptable, so kind. We beamed, proud. The legacy wasn't just cultural blending, it was emotional, resilience, openness, love without conditions. Arya saw women as partners, not competitors, saw family as chosen, every day. Mom taught her patience, the quiet strength of enduring. I taught her independence, the courage to speak up. Raj taught balance, love in action. One evening when Arya was 7, we sat around the dinner table, fusion meal, Mom's aloo gobi with my roasted chicken. Arya looked up. Dottie, why do you pray differently than Grandma? Mom smiled. Because I come from India. Different gods, same love. And you, Mommy? I come from America. Different ways, same heart. Arya nodded. So I'm both? We all smiled. Yes, sweetheart, the best of both. She grinned. I like both. Simple, profound. Mom's health declined gradually after that. Age, natural. We cared for her, together. Doctors, home help, but mostly us. Holding her hand, reading to her, singing the lullabies she taught Arya. She passed peacefully one spring morning, surrounded, holding our hands, Arya's small one in hers, whispering blessings. We grieved, deeply, but celebrated too. Her life, her love, her impact. The funeral was beautiful. Blend, Hindu rites for peace, Catholic mass for comfort. Friends from everywhere, stories shared, Indian aunties in saris, my Wisconsin family in sundresses, neighbors, tears, laughter. We buried her with marigolds and lilies. Her favorite sari, my mom's knitted scarf. Arya, now 10, lit the diya, said a prayer we'd taught her. Both traditions. Perfect. The house felt empty at first, quiet, but her spirit, everywhere. In Arya's curiosity, in our recipes, in the garden blooming, in the love we chose every day. Chapter 8 ends with us years later, Arya a young woman, college-bound, bringing friends home, telling them about her Dottie, the woman who crossed oceans, cultures, hearts, to build family, to teach love. Mom's photo on the mantle, smiling. Her legacy? Alive, in every choice to understand, to grow, to love. The Sas Bahu story, it's ours, and it's universal, a testament that love wins, always, when we let it. Looking back from where I am now, sitting on the same porch in our Chicago suburb, watching another fall unfold with leaves painting the street in reds and golds, I can see the bigger picture so clearly. The journey with Mom, my mother-in-law, wasn't just our private family story. It was something deeper, something universal. The Sas Bahu dynamic, that intricate, often complicated relationship between a mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, isn't confined to Indian households or Bollywood dramas. It's everywhere, in every culture, in every country, including right here in America. We just give it different names. In the US, we call it mother-in-law problems, or laugh it off with jokes about meddling or passive-aggressive comments at Thanksgiving. Think of all the sitcoms. Marie on Everybody Loves Raymond, constantly critiquing Deborah's cooking and parenting, or the endless memes about MILs rearranging your kitchen cabinets when they visit. But strip away the humor, and it's the same core emotions: love clashing with fear, tradition meeting change, two women loving the same man in different ways. I've heard it from friends all over. My coworker Lisa, Italian-American from New York, her mother-in-law judges her red sauce isn't authentic enough. Jenna, with her Jewish in-laws, constant questions about why the kids aren't in Hebrew school yet. My black friend Keisha, her mother-in-law worrying the grandkids' hair care isn't proper. Even my own mom, with her Wisconsin roots, she had her share of tension with my grandma back in the day over holiday menus and child rearing. Same story, different accents. It's always about belonging. The mother fearing she's being replaced, the wife fearing she's losing her voice, both wanting harmony, both scared of conflict. I felt it deeply in those early months. Mom felt it coming from halfway across the country. We were both protecting what we loved most, and in the process, almost lost each other. But we didn't. We chose differently. We chose to see, to listen, to bend. That's the universal truth. These relationships aren't doomed to drama. They're opportunities, chances to grow, to heal old wounds, to build bridges across generations, cultures, even continents. Mom taught me resilience, the quiet strength of women who've navigated huge life changes, immigration, widowhood, starting over, how to love fiercely without losing yourself, how family isn't just blood, it's commitment, daily choice. I taught her flexibility, that traditions evolve, that independence strengthens bonds, not weakens them, that asking for space isn't rejection, it's respect. We met in the middle, created something new, a third culture, ours. Arya grew up immersed in it. No confusion, just richness. She speaks some Hindi phrases, loves both grandma's recipes, prays in her own way, a mix of gratitude from both worlds. She's proud, confident, whole. At school events, teachers comment, she's so adaptable, so kind. We smile, know where it comes from. Mom's legacy lives in her, in every choice Arya makes to understand before judging, to love across differences. The truth hit me hardest in quiet moments, like when Arya, at 10, asked why some kids at school had mean grandmas. I told her our story, the arguments, the health scare, the healing. She listened, wide-eyed, then hugged me. I love how you and Dottie fixed it. Fixed it. Yes, we did. Not perfectly, but honestly. The Sas Bahu truth isn't conflict, it's potential for growth, for deeper love, for family that transcends culture. In America, we value independence. In India, duty. But both lead to the same place when chosen with heart, belonging. Mom showed me that every day, from the first clash to her last breath. Her legacy? It's alive. In Arya's curiosity, in my patience, in Raja's balance, in every story we tell, in every choice to bridge instead of build walls. The universal truth? Love wins. When we let go of fear, when we choose understanding, when we see the woman on the other side, not as rival, as ally, as family, by heart, by choice. Chapter 9 ends with me watching Arya, now a young woman, helping a friend navigate her own mother-in-law tension, sharing our story, the clashes, the growth, the love, Mom's photos smiling from the shelf, her legacy continuing, one open heart at a time. The Sas Bahu connection, it's universal, because love is, and when we choose it, it changes everything, for generations, beautifully. As I sit here on my porch in our quiet Chicago suburb, watching another generation of leaves turn those familiar shades of gold and red, the kind of crisp fall day where the air smells like wood smoke and the promise of pumpkin spice everything, I can't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude. Arya's all grown up now, off at college, studying environmental science, calling home with stories of dorm life and new friends. Raj and I are in our 50s, still holding hands on evening walks, still teasing each other about who makes better chai. The house feels different without Mom's daily presence. Quieter in some ways, but her spirit is everywhere. In the garden she loved tending, in the recipes I still pull out for special occasions, in the way Arya lights a diya during Diwali and then helps set the Thanksgiving table without missing a beat. This journey, from those raw, tear-filled early days of clashing cultures to the profound, unbreakable love we built, taught me something far bigger than just our family story. The Sas-Bahu relationship, that intricate dance between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, isn't some exotic trope limited to Indian families or dramatic TV shows. It's universal. It's woven into the fabric of families everywhere, in every culture, right here in America and around the world. We just experience it differently. In the US, we joke about it. The classic mother-in-law issues, the eye rolls when she critiques your turkey gravy or rearranges your Tupperware. Think of all the sitcoms and memes, the overbearing MIL who shows up unannounced, the subtle shade about parenting choices, the holiday battles over whose recipe gets made. But strip away the laughs, and it's the same core struggle. Two women loving the same man in different ways, navigating power, change, fear, and the deep desire to belong. I've heard it from so many women here. My friend Lisa, with her big Italian family in New York, her mother-in-law insists her Sunday sauce isn't real because it doesn't have enough basil. Jenna, Jewish from the suburbs, constant gentle questions about why the grandkids aren't more involved in temple activities. Keisha, my black friend from the south side, her mother-in-law worrying the kids' hair routines aren't traditional enough. Even my own mom, growing up in rural Wisconsin, she clashed with my grandma over everything from canning methods to how to discipline kids. Same emotions, different flavors. It's always about love colliding with fear. The mother fearing she'll be sidelined as her son builds a new life. The wife fearing she'll lose her voice, her independence in the new family dynamic. Both wanting harmony, both protecting what they cherish most. I felt it intensely in those early months. Mom felt it coming from thousands of miles away. We were both guarding our hearts, but we chose differently. We chose to see each other, to listen without defense, to grow instead of digging in. That's the difference. The universal truth isn't inevitable conflict, it's the incredible potential for connection. These relationships are hard because they're profound. They're the bridge between past and future, between old traditions and new beginnings, between what was and what could be. When they stay stuck in fear, pain, resentment, distance. When they lean into understanding, magic, deep, life-changing love. Mom taught me resilience, the quiet power of women who've crossed oceans, rebuilt lives, held families together through loss and change. How to love fiercely without demanding control. How family is a daily choice, not just obligation. I taught her flexibility, that traditions evolve beautifully when blended, that asking for space is an act of love, not rejection, that independence can strengthen bonds, not weaken them. We met in the middle, created something unique, a third way, our way. Arya grew up bathed in it. No confusion, just abundance. She speaks a little Hindi, loves both grandma's stories, prays with folded hands or bowed head, whichever feels right. She's proud of her roots, both sides, confident in her blended identity. At school, teachers always said, "She's so empathetic, so adaptable." We knew why. Mom's legacy lives in her, in every choice Arya makes to understand before judging, to bridge instead of divide, to love across differences. The truth crystallized for me in quiet moments, like when Arya, at 12, helped a new kid at school who felt different, or when she mediated a friend fight with patience Mom would recognize, or when she asked deep questions. Why do some families fight over culture? I'd tell her our story, the arguments, the health scare, the healing. She'd listen, then hug me. "I'm glad you and Dottie chose love." Chose love. Yes, we did. Every day. That's the power, the universal truth. These relationships aren't destined for drama. They're destined for growth, if we choose it. To every sauce watching, every mother-in-law, your daughter-in-law isn't taking your place. She's expanding your family. She's scared, too, of not measuring up. Give her grace. Give her time. She might become the daughter your heart needed. To every Bahu watching, every daughter-in-law, your mother-in-law isn't controlling, she's clinging to purpose, to relevance. Listen to her stories, honor her wisdom. You might gain a second mother, a lifelong ally. We're all just women, navigating love, change, fear, trying to build home. The arguments, they're temporary. The love that grows from resolving them, eternal. Mom showed me that, from the first clash to her final days. Her legacy? It's alive. In Arya, in me, in every open heart, in every choice to understand. The Sas-Bahu connection, it's more universal than you think, because love is. And when we choose it, really choose it, it transforms everything. Families, generations, hearts, forever. Thank you, Mom. Your daughter loves you, always.